ready to make a Japanese soup. So right now I'm going to prepare the hard-boiled eggs, and I've done this many a time. You just put the eggs you want in cold water in a pot, and then you wait till it boils. And then when it boils, you turn the heat off and cover it for about 10 minutes, and then it's done. So that's what I'm doing right now. Alright, yeah, let's just go ahead. I just turned the heat off. Let's just go ahead and put a cover on this. And then what you do after that, it's been here actually longer than I like. I had to use the restroom. You just let it sit there for about 10 minutes. Then you drain all the water out, replace it with cold water, and then take the shell off. I've done this many a time. Yep, and that's how I make hard-boiled eggs. So yeah, this recipe does require hard-boiled eggs, so I'm getting that ready in advance. Okay, yeah, I boil eggs all the time. So let's just kind of like drain the hot water here. And then you put in some cold water like this. It helps create a bit of a pop between the shell and the eggs, supposedly making it easier to take the shell off. So I usually take the hot water out and then fill this up with cold water. And then I'll go ahead and take the shell off. This is not always a smooth process for me. Sometimes the shells come off easy, sometimes they don't. So let's see what happens. Let me see. I usually do it kind of right over the garbage can here. So let's see how this works. Let's see how today goes. The trick I've learned with taking shells off is you want to make sure you get the fine skin right underneath the shell and work with the shiny part. Looks like I'm doing good. See, you can see the shiny part. Yeah, you want to get that fine skin off. That's a trick that I've learned with making hard-boiled eggs. Yep, looks like I'm having good luck so far. Yeah, so I'll be doing this for all... this one was great. So I'll go ahead and put it in here, and then do the same thing for the other 3. Yeah. So this one came out good, so I'll take the shells off of the other 3. Okay, I already got started with the eggs. This is what I'm going to be making. I'm not following the recipe exactly. I will post this at my website. I already made the eggs. Let's go ahead and soak the shiitake mushrooms. 2 dried shiitake mushrooms softened, so we'll work on that now. Okay, I have some dried shiitake mushrooms. These were pre-sliced. That's about the equivalent of 2, and I'm soaking them in some water. Hopefully by the time I need to throw them in there, they'll be good. I think the next thing I'm going to do is prepare the I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, the abarage. That is the fried bean curds. I'm going to see if I can take some of the grease. You can kind of see them there in the corner there. What I'm going to do is prepare them and try to remove some oil. So that'll be my next step. The abarage, there's 2 of them in here. Just what I need for this recipe. So let me go ahead and take them. I bought this at the Far East Market, one of the Asian stores around here. Let me go ahead and prepare this in a manner to get rid of the excess grease. And wait till this water boils, and then I'm going to throw the abarage in there. In the meanwhile, let me cut them down to the size that I want them for the soup. Okay, they're kind of frozen right now, but let's see. What size do I want them for the soup? First time I've made the soup, so I'm kind of guesstimating, and I may not follow the recipe exactly. Oops. I'm probably going to cut them into strips like that. Yeah, let's see. Okay, yeah, let's just go ahead and cut them down to the strip size that I want them to be for the soup. Actually, even though the cookbook says to, kind of lets them thaw out, let's see. I think about this would be about right. With them partially frozen, they actually cut easier. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. Do I want them smaller than that? You know what? I think the soup would be good about like this. Yeah, let's leave them that size. I don't know, I've never made this soup before. I wonder if I should split them open. You know what? Let's split them open. They actually break pretty easily. So I'm going to go like that. Yeah, that looks like this would be a good way to do it. So let me go ahead and do it. You see what I'm doing here? Yeah, they are kind of greasy, yeah. So I think I want to take the grease out and try to make the food a little less fattening. So let's go ahead and do that, and then when the water boils, I'm going to throw all this in there. I would like to point out that at the Asian store that I went to, this was the only one they had, and this is the one I like. It's just plain deep-fried tofu curds. The ingredients are water, soy milk, rapeseed oil, magnesium chloride, and that's it. Now, there was another Asian store that also had deep-fried tofu curds. They carry it in the freezer section, and it had a lot of extra stuff added in, like spices and stuff. And so I just want to let you know, when you do buy the abarajé, you actually can make this yourself if you want to deep fry your tofu, but I didn't want to do that. So get the plain kind, you know, not the one with all the extra spices added, unless you like all the spices in there. But I'm going to be using the plain kind. So this is the one I got at the Far East Market here. I'm going to be making a variation on this recipe. I'm going to be using buckwheat soba noodles. From what I understand, and from my own personal experience with these, you've got to be really picky about how you cook these. So I'm kind of like doing it my own way. I love buckwheat soba noodles, but they need to be cooked a special way. So I'm going to be killing two birds in one stone here. Here's what they look like. Kind of explain what I'm going to be doing. Okay, they are pretty fragile, these noodles, and they cook faster and are quite delicate. So we're going to set a timer, and they like to clump. I've kind of had experience with these. So I'm going to bring a big pot of water to a boil, and I think I'm going to make maybe, let me see. I'm going to use 2 of these. Yeah, because the noodles make the dish. And I'm going to store them in the refrigerator and add them as needed. They say to bring 3 cups of water to a boil. That's probably a little bit more. But that's okay. I want to get all the grease out. Now we're going to cook it for 2 minutes. I'm throwing them in there. This is to remove excess grease. So I'm going to throw them in there, cook them for 2 minutes, and then you drain them. And that's how you remove excess grease. Let's see here. I think I need to kind of like push it down here, make sure it's getting in there. I'm using a slotted spoon. So about 2 minutes, I'm going to cook it in the water. Hopefully a lot of that grease is going to go into the water. And then I'm going to drain them. It's been about 2 minutes. And because I want to save the real drainer for my noodles, I'm going to drain them just using a slotted spoon. Here, let me just go like this. Hopefully a lot of the grease has gone into the, I'm just going to do it like this. This is it. Yeah, using my slotted spoon and just take it out of here. Alright, and so hopefully most of the grease went into the water here. Yeah, well, see, I got to save my drainer because I'm going to make the soma noodles next. Okay, and what I'm going to do over here is in the sink, I'm going to pour out more water. Yeah. There, kind of like that. This will be my draining here. That'll work. Okay, now let's work on the somen noodles. Somen noodles like to clump, so you need to cook them in a big pot of water. So let's bring this to a boil, and then I'm going to throw the noodles in there. While the water is boiling, let's get the other ingredients ready. I already started with the mushrooms. The recipe calls for a half bunch of spinach cooked. You know what? I don't like my vegetables overcooked, so what I'm going to do with this, I'm just going to throw in some frozen spinach. Yeah, about a half bunch. I'm going to, yeah, I just bought me some frozen spinach. Yeah, about a half bunch, let's guess. That looks about right. That'd be about a half bunch. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw it, I'm just gonna let that thaw out, and that will be my cooked spinach. Yeah, like I said, this is the first time making this, so I will, yeah, I just decided to use some frozen spinach. Go ahead and get the eggs sliced. We're gonna go ahead and slice the eggs. So that's kind of like, yeah, kind of like that. You see? Get it ready for the, yeah. I'll throw it back in here. Get it all sliced and ready for the soup. Make sure I'm in the camera. Yep. Okay. Then next I'm going to cut up the chicken into bite-sized pieces. Yeah. All right. Well, you see what I'm doing, so I'm going to go ahead and do this with the other 2 eggs and get them all sliced. And ready for the soup. All right, let's go ahead and cut up the chicken into bite-sized pieces. I've been so busy. Yeah, the chicken's still good. Definitely want to make this today. Let's cut it up into bite-sized pieces. If I get a little egg on the chicken, it won't matter because the egg's going to get on it in the soup anyway. Might even add a nice flavor to it. So there we go. Let's go a little bit smaller. Okay, we're going to throw it right back in there. Get all the chicken down into bite-sized pieces. Do not have a timer, so I'm going to have to kind of guesstimate here. For 2.5 minutes, you definitely do not want to overcook soba. I can tell you that because I watched my mother, my Japanese mother, cook with this. Let me get this soba ready. Okay, 2.5 minutes, and then take it out and put it in the drainer. I already have the drainer in the sink, so let's go ahead and stick this in here. Yeah, as you can see, I'm using a big pot, so it's going to have plenty of room to move around. Let's see. All right, there goes. About 2.5 minutes. That. As soon as my clock goes, it's 3:12 now. As soon as it goes to 3:14, they need to be out of here. Yeah, I can tell. It doesn't take long for soba to cook. You want a big pot so they don't clump together. I love the buckwheat soba noodles. I got this at the Asian store as well. It did not have instructions on how to cook it. So I kind of went online and found something that reminded me of how my mother used to cook this stuff. And yeah, she's Japanese. She's in heaven. So we did make an automaton of her. Okay, let me see how we're doing here. One more minute. Not much time. Okay, oh, then they're out of the hot water and into cold water. You have to cool these down as soon as possible. Okay. Interesting. Okay. We are done. Let's take them out right now. Let's go ahead and stop. Over here to the drain. I actually have a bowl of cold water waiting over here. Alright, I just put them in the drain. I tell you, trying to film myself as I'm doing this or something. Okay, now they need to go in the cold water. Pronto! Actually, I think what I'm going to do, everything's off, throw in some cold water. My mother, what she would do is just rinse them with cold water immediately. She would just run cold water like this. Yep, and so that's what I think I'm going to do. This is what she did. Yep, just run the cold water over them just like this in the drain. Yeah, you can see they're kind of clumping together, but they're looking good. You run cold water like this. Yep. Okay. Now they said they put a little bit of sesame oil and soy sauce to keep them from clumping together. That sounds like it. Let me see how they're doing. If they seem to be doing really nicely, I may not need to do that. Okay, but yeah, you want to rinse them with cold water immediately. Okay, let me go ahead and put them. Yeah, I like the feel of this. About 2.5 minutes. Yeah, they feel really good. Let me just go ahead and put them in a plastic container. Look pretty good to me. I think I'm just going to leave them as is. I have them in 2 containers like this, and I'm going to save them. Like, I'm not going to, since I'm going to be eating this soup over maybe the next 2 or 3 days, I'll just use whatever noodles I need for whatever I'm making for today. Go ahead and stick them in the refrigerator for right now. That'll keep them really cold. Okay, let's add 3 cups of water to this to prepare for the next step. We're going to be cooking the kelp. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's go ahead and turn the heat on here. I knew that didn't seem right. I got to add 2 more cups. I needed to wear my glasses so I can read the book better. Let me add 2 more cups of water. It's 5 cups of water. Okay. There we go. There we go, 5 cups. So we're going to bring that to a boil, and then I'm going to put the kelp or the kombu in it. I need to add that in right now. Kelp. I'm not sure I'm going to be following this recipe exactly. I'm kind of winging it. Let's see here. So the kelp's going to be about 2.5 inches, eh? Of course, it's kind of like, that looks like about 2.5 inches. We'll throw that in there. They actually instruct me to take it out. They're obviously making the broth. And I might do that. So, yeah, you need to put the kelp in. This is kelp that I bought a long time ago. Pacific kombu, see that? Okay, fortunately dried kelp lasts a long time. So I'm going to, I happen to love seaweed. I guess it depends on how much of a seaweed flavor I want this thing to have. I'll probably follow the recipe. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to cook it until the water begins to boil. Then we remove the kelp pieces. So that's what I'm doing. When the water begins to boil, I'll turn the camera back on. See, there it is. All right. Okay, I think it's time to remove the kelp. Well, I might just eat the kelp solo. I love seaweed, you know. So let me see till the water begins to boil. Kelp makes a nice stock, though. I'm going to let it cook just a little bit more. But it's going to, no, I think it's pretty good. So, there's all sorts of stuff I might just eat that as is. I have stuff like this for a snack, believe it or not. Okay, of course I'm going to wait till it cools down. All right, the next thing I'm going to do now is you add 1.5 cup dried bonito flakes. You know, I hate wasting the delicious fish, but you know, I can understand why they're telling me to strain this when I'm done. And I can understand, because I guess you don't want it to taste too fishy. I might actually taste the stock and decide whether I'm going to strain it or not. I haven't decided yet. Okay. 1.5 cups bonito flakes is next. Goodness, this is, you know what, hold on. Looks like I'm going to have to use my fingers here. I can kind of guesstimate, you know. That's about 1.5 cups would be about that. Yeah. Okay. I got that at Whole Foods. This is a hard to find item around here. At the Asian stores do carry some dried tuna flakes. I forget what they call them. But they're not exactly the bonito, and that would probably work too. Any type of dried tuna flakes would probably work. I actually got that at Whole Foods. I don't even think the Asian store had bonito flakes. Anyways, any type of dried tuna flakes would work. Okay, now, and bring to a boil. So I need to bring this to a boil. So you remove the seaweed right before it boils, then you add in the tuna flakes, the dried tuna flakes. I can see why they say to strain it. Yeah, I guess I'd better strain it. I'll just use this. I don't have to strain it perfectly. I have something else I could use to strain it. I've seen my mother use these. In fact, I think I got this from my mother. This would work too, but I think I'm just going to use a spoon. If I don't get every single tuna flake out of there, it's okay. Yeah, so let's wait till it starts boiling. In the meanwhile, the eggs and the spinach are going to go in the refrigerator because I will not be using them all up today. So I want to make sure they don't spoil on me. I have a strategy for this. I'm not going to be following the recipe 100%. I'm going to kind of eat it the way my mother did whenever she ate salmon. Okay, now the next step. Strain the stock. Let's try something here. Let me turn the heat off. I'm debating on whether this is good. You know what? This isn't going to work. I think I am going to have to use what my mother used. Yeah. I think that other instrument will work better. Let me go get it out. This thing. Yeah. This isn't perfect either. Because what I'm going to do, I have an idea. Let me get a spoon. no perfect solution to this. Actually, I'm not sure that this is the best way to do it. Well, I might leave some of the fish in there because I happen to like fish. So, yeah, I like fish. I was really debating on whether I wanted to remove the bonito. But I can see that you don't, because chicken's going to go in here too. I'm not going to remove it all. I'm just going to remove most of it. So, yeah. I happen to like fish. Oh, I am not going to throw this bonito away. I'm probably going to eat this as a snack, believe it or not. Put some rice on top of it, some short grain rice, and maybe some furikake. Alright, that's it. I'm not taking all of it out. I want to leave some of that in there because I like fish. Alright, now, reheat the stock over moderate heat. It's pretty reheated, you know, but I think I'm going to, okay. I actually took some of the liquid out when I did that, and I'm glad I did that because I have a strategy. Okay, go ahead and let me add the next ingredients. Let's go ahead and add the next ingredients. The sugar, the mirin, and the soy sauce. I'm on a diet, so I'm going to be using sucralose, but you probably want to use sugar. Alright, so for sugar, 1 tablespoon sugar. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. And next, 2 tablespoons mirin. Now, the mirin has sugar in it, that can't be helped. 2 tablespoons mirin. 1. I don't have to be on a complete diet. I'm obviously not going to be putting this plastic measuring spoon in here. Alright, and it says a 4th cup light color soy sauce. I do not have light color soy sauce. I just have regular Kikkoman. I think I'm going to go with the Kikkoman. I have the Chinese soy sauce. My mother calls every brand besides Kikkoman the Chinese soy sauce. But yeah, 4th cup. Yeah, this is going to be... I don't like too much salt in my food though, so I may just go with this. Yeah, that's good enough. I'm actually going to go with a little bit less than a 4th cup. That's good. Yeah, that'll work. I don't like too much salt. Yeah, and this is not light color soy sauce either, so. Okay. You know what? Looks like I'm going to have to get me some more soy sauce. Okay, no problem. Okay. Add chicken, aborage, and mushroom pieces. Okay, let's go get it. Now, I happen to be a stickler. When I put in the mushroom pieces, I like the mushroom water. So I'm probably going to be... I like the mushroom water. It gives it a very nice flavor. You know what? I probably could use this. Hold on. I don't want to burn my fingers. I like the mushroom water. Let's go ahead and throw in the... There we go. I threw in the mushroom water. Okay. Let's start turning the heat back on. Yep. Alrighty. And the chicken. Gotta cook this chicken. Hold on. This way I don't burn my fingers. There we go. Let's kind of spread that around here. Let's see what we got here. Alrighty. Oh, the aborage. We cannot forget about you guys. Yeah, this will add a nice flavor. go. Looks like it's going to be good. All right. Basically, I think we cook it until the chicken's done. That would seem to be the rule to me. So let's cook it until the chicken is done. So I will turn this back on when the chicken's done. I forgot to mention, I am going to be bringing this to a boil, okay? Once it comes to a boil, I will probably lower the heat just a bit and cook it till the chicken's done. I decided I am going to add a little bit of soy sauce and sesame seed oil to this to keep the noodles from clumping together because they are starting to clump. And since I cut back on the soy sauce a little bit in there, so just kind of like, oops, that's enough, man. A little bit of sesame seed oil, just a little bit, just to keep the noodles from clumping. So let's see, maybe a little bit of sesame seed oil. Yeah, just not too much. I am on a bit of a diet here. That's good. Okay, let's go ahead and kind of swish this around. I probably should have done this as soon as I drained it. And I'm going to do this to the other one too. Oops, can you see that? I'm going to do this to the other one too. Because see, I actually like to eat these noodles cold. Yeah. Let's go ahead. Yeah, they're starting to clump, so I am going to do that. And besides, since I cut back on the soy sauce in the soup, this will add probably just the right amount of saltiness. And plus, I like the flavor of sesame oil. Just a little bit, because I am on a bit of a diet here. Oops. Okay. Yeah, they are starting to clump, so this appears to be a good decision, since I'm not going to be eating all the noodles today. Yeah. The noodles make this dish, so, you don't want them to start clumping. It's going to ruin everything. So let me do the same thing to the other bowl, just to keep the noodles from clumping. Yeah. Okay, the water is getting ready to come to a boil, and I'm kind of swishing it around a bit. Just checking out the chicken. It looks like when it comes to a boil, the chicken is going to be cooked. I can kind of tell here. Yep. I'm going to be eating it out of this bowl, so let me just go ahead and put some noodles in here already and just get them ready, because then I'll be pouring the soup over it. I am not following the recipe exactly, because the next step is to throw the noodles in there. I don't want to do that. So I actually prefer these noodles cold. So I will write my modified version, because the recipe actually calls for thick wheat flour noodles and not somen noodles, because I'm using somen noodles. You do not want to overcook somen noodles. It's better to eat them cold with Japanese al dente, so that they're Japanese al dente. Japanese al dente is less cooking than Italian al dente. I can tell you that already. With somen noodles, yeah, you don't want to cook it very much. The secret to this dish being delicious is the noodles have got to be Japanese al dente. Okay, the water is starting to boil. As long as the chicken is cooked, it's ready for the next step. Let me get a chicken out of here. Just find a chicken. I noticed chicken has been rather dry lately, so it's okay. I can live with it. Here's a chicken. You know what? It looks like it's good. Yeah, it looks like it's cooked. Okay. I think we're ready for the next step. Okay. The next thing we do is I'm going to just pour it over the noodles. Let me get me a dipper here. I'm going to turn the heat off. Yeah. Get me a soup ladle. I'm going to go with a little ladle. I have different size ladles. This will work. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pour it right in there. Right over the noodles. Yep. Yeah, you do not want to, yeah, basically the way you serve this dish, you put the noodles in the bowl, you pour the soup over it, and only put whatever noodles you want for each serving in your bowl. Because you do not want to overcook these noodles. Yeah, that's pretty good right there. Okay, so let's bring this over to the table and I'll finish with all the other stuff I need to add. This dish would not be complete without green onions. I've never heard of the Japanese that eat soba noodles without green onions. So let's go ahead and garnish it. Throw in some spinach. You see, you didn't even cook it. Yeah, it was already cooked, you know. Frozen spinach, they pre-cook it. That's good. This will cool it down. Yeah, there we go. Throw in some green onions. These are onions that I already chopped up. And they've already been pre-cut, so yeah, that'll work. Throw them in there. And then throw in some eggs. Some slices of eggs, yeah. There we go. There it is. So that's what it looks like. Let me see if I can get a close-up on that. I need better lighting here, eh? Let's get better lighting. So it looks kind of like that right there. See if I can get better lighting here. Yeah, that helps a little bit. And I will let you know how it tastes. There's another shot. Let's try it now. If I can, let me see if I got it here. All right. First time I've made this. I bet, well, we'll find out. This is delicious. Really good. I like it. Let's try it with the noodles. Delicious. I kind of did my own thing, but it's working. This is good. Just a winner. So I'll be posting this at my YouTube channel.